Hello world. I'm gonna be expanding my series of Parents' Day cards, and I'm gonna take you along with me on the design and production journey. Today we'll be creating the Mother's Day card for 2021, and that's basically it. So let's dabble. Last year I made a Mother's Day card and a Father's Day card, and they're kind of designed so they can face each other, kind of be part of a set. I want to expand the set so it can work interchangeably. So if you have a mom and a dad, you can put those two together. And if you have a mom and a mom, you can put those two together. Whichever way you like, basically. And I think that's very neat. Whenever I realized how I'm gonna make it, I want some NB representation in here as well, but I'm not really sure in which way. So if you have any ideas, I'm all ears. I'm a giant ear. Yes. But for now, we're just gonna go ahead and do the corner for this design. This matrix of parents, I guess. I'm just gonna go ahead and open up this sketchbook. Follow along. Sketchbook. Alright, so this is the sketch for the Mother's Day for last year. We're basically gonna be doing something like it. I think this year I want to do some ruffly hair. Maybe a part here, possibly. Not really sure, but yeah, I think I'm gonna play a bit around with the hair and mostly just go for this. Apart from that, the flowers are gonna be moving down here, so that's practically gonna be that. Here's the ideas for the Father's Day version. We had the flowers up here back then, so for this year they're gonna be down here. Practically how that's gonna work out. So now you know the concept of the design. I'll just go ahead and sketch some ideas out. Okay, I literally thought that this was gonna take a whole lot longer, so I turned off this. Is this the reaction camera? Reactions! Anyway, yeah, I think I like the result. Whoops, there's some transfer. Doesn't matter. This is not really that important. Anyway, so this is where it started. This is where it ended. Well, so far, because now I'm going to take a picture of the sketch and then enter it into the computer and play a bit around in Photoshop and see what sticks. Basically, throw some more ideas onto the canvas and see if anything comes of it. Yes. I'm gonna need my phone. After doing the sketch and taking a picture of it, putting it into the computer, I started importing it into Photoshop before I realized that I should have been putting it into Illustrator first. I'm gonna do that a bit later, so you're just gonna see me playing a bit around with a bunch of flower designs of different kinds. When finally realizing I should have started doing the Illustrator part first, I put it into Illustrator, started up with this egg shape that's supposed to be another connecting thing throughout the designs, put in all of the character parts, I guess, put in the frame, and then back into Photoshop again. Finished off the flowers. I'm still not very good at utilizing all the layers I can do in Photoshop, most because I tend to forget to name them, especially when I'm sitting at my drawing desk because I can't reach my keyboard. Anyway, finishing off the flowers, I put on a new layer and put in all of the small extra details. Finally, when all of that was done, I imported it into InDesign, tried to fit it onto an A5 paper, so it was practically the same size as the Mother's Day card from last year, just to get the proportions kind of the same. I should have started out with this, but I didn't think. Anyway, then printed it out, made sure that it was in the right orientation. Always remember that your liner block cutout is gonna be the reverse of what you want on the paper, and remember to orient the design so you have that in mind. Hi, and welcome back. So I hope you enjoyed that little design process. We're back, and before we do anything else, we're gonna have to prep the lino. And we're back with a bunch of sandpaper. I use 220 grit and just take a little bit of it. We have our sandpaper, we have our block, and we're just gonna prep it up by sanding off, well, roughening up the top layer of the block. We're gonna do this so the ink will stick to the block better. It's gonna give a more crisp print, and I'm doing this before cutting so I don't risk ruining all of the little cut edges and make a fuzzy print again. You learn from experience. Let's get to it. And there we go. So, just a bunch of small circles going around the entire block, remembering to diversify the direction of the circles. The design is in place. The liner has been prepared. Now it's time to transfer. Woo! There are a bunch of ways of transferring the design onto the lino, and one of those is using acrylic gel. It's the same process as transferring a laser print of a photo onto wood, but I find the entire process a bit tiresome and annoying, especially considering the end result could be done in other ways. You know, applying the gel, placing the design, waiting for all of it to dry, rubbing the paper away only to end up rubbing away the design because you weren't being careful enough or didn't apply the gel properly, or it hasn't dried fully, and whatever do I know. A bit tiresome, yes. Some other people apparently have much luck transferring the design from as a laser print onto the block by rubbing it on the back with alcohol or acetone, or even using heat for transferring. And whenever I try out this process, I just end up with major disappointment. It's not my kind of witchcraft, let's just say that. Anyway, so we're gonna do the much slower process of tracing. It's also just gonna be guidelines for the final cut after all, so who cares, really? To do this, we'll be taking the printout, turning it around, and then we'll be covering the entire back of it with graphite. Stick it onto the lino and trace over the design. It's far from the perfect way of doing this, as a lot of the crispness gets lost in translation, but I kinda like the rough edges. Now that's done, I'll go ahead and peel off the printout. There we go. As you can see, it's a bit messy. What I'm gonna go ahead and do now though is go over everything once again, but with a Sharpie. Can't find the Sharpie, but I can find this. It's basically the same. Deep breaths. Okay, the design has been transferred and it's been set so it doesn't rub off. In the parts of the design where I want there to be big black areas, instead of just filling it out completely with the marker, I'm just hatching some lines just to mark it, because otherwise we're gonna have a bunch of trouble getting all of the marker off the printing press, no, off the block before we start printing. It's time to cut, finally. A lot of the work that goes into these are prep work, so yeah. I like to start with just a cutting mat that's free to rotate on the table. And then I use one of these cupboard liners just to get the print stuck on the cutting mat. So it's still free to rotate and do all sorts of stuff with, but the print itself is pretty stable. A thing I've realized in earlier cutting projects is that I need to only be cutting in 20 minutes increments, because otherwise I start getting into a flow zone, and then I'm much more, like exponentially more likely to make very stupid mistakes. And we don't want that. I don't want that, at least. It feels really weird to keep myself out of this flow zone, which is basically what most people strive to get into when doing projects, but the end result is gonna be so much better. So, let's stop talking and let's start cutting. The block is nearly finished. Now, before we start printing, I just really want to get rid of all the alcohol marker. To do this, I am gonna use some isopropyl alcohol to just rub it off, at least as much as I can. We have the isopropyl and we have some cotton pads I don't really use for anything makeup related, or to be honest at the moment nail related, and they're just sitting in my bathroom not being used for anything. So this is a fine way of getting them used up, I guess. There we go. Looks a bit messy, but I guess that's fine. I think we might be ready to print. I actually did get a proper glass pane, but it is way too big. So we're just gonna go ahead and use this mirror instead, even though it's pretty garish. I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to survive, I guess. I don't know, let's print. Yes. Nothing here. Nothing awkward here. Nothing awkward here. Okay, first pull is never gonna be good. It's just priming the block basically. But that's not half bad. I'm positively surprised. Okay, this part over here, that is not really that good, but I don't actually think I'm gonna correct it. I actually just think I'm gonna keep it like that and just go for it. So First pull, priming pull, I guess.
Alias Olen Technologies.
Okay, I'll basically just sneak peeking. I have a really good feeling about this one, but yeah, never. Oh, there's a lot on the pure black areas, so just gonna go over that again. If any of my friends or family are watching this, what I really want for Christmas or birthdays is a wooden spoon. A proper brayer, but those are quite expensive compared to just any kitchen wooden spoon. And I think that is gonna be it. Oh yeah. Apart from the big black areas, I really like how this turned out. Oh no. There's a bit of overflow down here. But look at that. First pull. First proper pull. Okay. I think this one's gonna be good. Hold on. Oh yeah. Okay, maybe this is my first proper pull. Maybe. We'll see later. I mean, look. Yeah. Okay, so hello. So as you can see, my drying rack is super simple. It's basically just this line going from the pipes over to the bookcase over here that you can't see, just with a bunch of binder clips all over it. There are much more binder clips than I need, and there is not actually enough room on the line for them all to go up, but it doesn't matter. So, take my print, grab a tiny, adorable clothespin, just to make it not skirt around, because otherwise they're all gonna fall into the groove of the line when there's more papers on it. Anyway, I reached the point now. I have no idea what it looks like right now. I think I want to check that out. Oh, anyway, I've kind of reached the point in the printing process where I really can't be bothered anymore, and I have earlier tried to do printing for much longer than this, and you don't get good results. 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 prints are up on the drying rack at the moment, and in a couple of days, since it's water-based ink, they should be dry enough for me to pull down and sort out and edition. Then we're gonna come back and sort them out and edition them. Might be 11 prints, might be 5. We'll see. But right now, I can't be bothered anymore. So, clean up. Luckily, it's water-based, so that's gonna be easy and nice, and I wish I had a much bigger sink to wash everything up in. Someday. There they are. There, you see them. Ooh, I'm actually quite excited. Okay, these are the prints, and to be completely honest, I don't really know where to start when it comes to sorting them, but I do know that a lot of the prints are much better than this one, so we're just gonna put this as an AP artist's print. So it's gonna go into my own personal file, I think. I really love how these turned out. Is that a bit of glitter? Is there glitter in my prints? I like this one, and I think this one turned out pretty well as well. I don't think I'm gonna go through them all with you, but I might cut a bunch of this out. I don't really like the smudge on the nose. There's a bunch of smudge on this one. Oh, I don't like it. Okay. Yeah, I've gone through, and I think we have a couple that I'm gonna keep as my own personal print stash, I guess, reference. I don't know if I'm gonna keep all of them, but we'll see. That's 3 I've put aside, and that means there should be 8 in here, and they're still in the same order as I printed them. 8, yes. All right, 8 prints. So let's edition. I really shot myself in the foot regarding the space down here, because this area is supposed to contain the number of the edition, the title of the print, and then the name of the printer or the artist, whatever. And they're supposed to go underneath the print, but there's not really that much space down here. So I don't really know if I'm gonna put it here, and then here, and then here, or just all the way at the end. I could also be contrarian and put it up here, but that's not the conventions of printmaking, I say, as I'm printing on much too thick paper and basically shitting on most of the conventions. This is number 1 out of 8, Mother's Day 21, and it's made by the Holmberg. I think that's gonna be how it is. There. Okay, that's all the prints. Haha, I guess that's that. 8 prints for Mother's Day. I'm quite satisfied. It's the end of the video. Hopefully not as we know it. That was my Mother's Day card for 2021 finished. So now we have the Mother's Day print, the Father's Day print for 2020. Now we also have the Mother's Day print for 2021. I think it turned out really nicely, as in, maybe not exceptionally well, but I'm very proud. Okay, it may not work with last year's Father's Day card, but it's gonna work with this year's Father's Day card. And I'd say it works with the Mother's Day card from last year. I think they turned out really nice together. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me for this time. I think the next couple of projects with this size are probably gonna be cut down. Maybe not considerably, but I would think that this video could have been cut down to a couple of videos. Maybe even you know, a design process, and then a cutting process, and then a printing process. That might be what I'm gonna do with the next big project like this. Just just so I don't have to work on the same video for a week and not get anything else done. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of the video and let me know what you think of the design. And yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.